Hey guys, so quick bit of information on this video before we start. We know that the quality isn't ideal and some of the lighting isn't great either. We shot it fairly quickly on the iPhone just to get a video to you guys so you can see what's going on with the camper, the ins and outs, stuff like that. Our #1 priority right now is building campers, the EDCs and the EXOs. We have a lot of orders coming through and we're going into busy season and we need to keep these lead times short to get you guys your campers. So, take the video with a grain of salt. We are gonna do more videos here as soon as we can, higher quality, more detail, things like that. But for now, let us know what you think. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, shoot us an email, or give us a call. Thanks.
What's up guys, Joe here with Harker Outdoors. We are gonna go in a more in-depth view on the EXO. Let's get into some details and what the EXO is all about. The EXO shares a similar hatch as our EDC. It's removable. To remove it, push these latches, undo our quick disconnects, and they just mount up here.
This is also an optional function. You don't need to take this hatch off to use it, but if you want to use it as a table, you can.
That's right.
You can still use it as a normal shell when you want.
Anytime you push down on it, it automatically locks. So once it's locked, you're always going to need a key to undo it. So it has that safety factor in it. Once you've got them undone, flipped up, it has another safety. It won't come off until you flip it. So you flip these handles and then you can pull it off. And Jake, if you follow me over here, these table brackets can go on either side. And this is just an option to turn your hatch into a side table. And so now you're always carrying this little like bar table for lunches, dinners, for a bar, whatever you want to use it for. So now once that's done, you just pop the latches on both sides, push, and it'll start to go up. And then you can climb up in here, pull this out, and then you could zip this up as well when it's time to go to bed. Yeah, you can see on the inside here, the camper really doesn't interfere with anything you've got going on. You still have tons of room to use your truck as an everyday truck, or you can build cabinets in it. You can put solar packages in it, battery systems. So you can get really crazy with the interior, but on a base model, this is what you're gonna get. Just a very simple camper. So our bed is a kind of an 80-20 system here. So you've got this 20% that lifts up so you can get into the bed from the outside.
I'll jump in.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a little dark, so don't mind the poor quality, but you have that opening space so you can crawl in and out of bed this way, and then you can still give this bed a push from here. And that's where you get all your standing room. You can walk all the way to the edge, have that space, and then this comes back down if you want a standing table.
Yep. So let's take it out. The tent has full mosquito mesh on all 3 sides, the same size as your windows, but we do have an optional pole kit that will extend this thing out. So
you can also roll these screens up into these ties as well.
So let me grab these poles. It might get a little dark on you guys for a minute. Another cool feature about the pole system is the way we've designed it. Say it's kind of bad weather, but you want to get more of a flow. Maybe you want to get some light in here. You can push these poles deeper into the slides and then bring the ring cover down even more.
Angle, yeah.
Yep. So it just depends on what you want to use it for, but it is adjustable.
Joe, would you touch on the material? We've had a few people ask about, you can kind of see that it's a little shiny, but there's a reason for that.
Yes. So it's a dual layer system. So instead of a lot of materials that are waterproof have a chemical waterproofing on it, this material does not. So what it has is it has a 2-layer system. So it has a very heavy ripstop material on the face, and then on the back it has a kind of like a plastic. It's a recycled plastic, but it's a full membrane that goes over the whole thing. So you're not dealing with any chemicals in here.
It also makes this 100% waterproof with no coating.
Exactly.
So it's not something you need to treat every year like a lot of camper tents out there. This is just gonna last and stay waterproof.
Yep, it's the same. Just to give you an example that you can relate to, it's made out of the same materials that your water bottles are made out of. Doors on all 3 sides. And while you're in there, Jake, I'll go on the outside and we'll show them how to get in.
Sure.
Off the ladder. Put it through the grommet, and there you go. So now it's out of your way when you're crawling up this ladder and into the camper. So the ladder mount is on a removable piece too. So you have the ability to actually put this ladder on all 3 sides. You just pull this pin, slide, and come off. So really easy. And then to go back in, you just push, click over, and you're done.
Joe, this might be a good time to mention the materials here. So this is a military grade L-track. So this is not only strong enough to hold a ladder, but it'll hold the table, it'll hold a hammock.
Yep.
Extreme weight can be put on the sides because it's just into that L-track there.
Yep, just like the EDC, you have the options of mounting shovels, axes, water cans, gas cans, traction mounts.
And
it's really endless.
Wondering, let's touch base while we're standing here. What are we using for materials inside and out?
Inside and out?
Yep.
So our main frame, it's a powder coated steel frame. We picked steel because steel has a spring to it. It has a natural spring to where it will flex and give, where aluminum, once it starts to bend and stretch, it starts to become brittle. Your frame on your truck is made to, it's got a ladder frame that's made to move. And so we wanted to mimic some of that. And so with the camper on the bed, when your bed is flexing, we wanted the camper to be fluid with the vehicle. So that's why we went with a steel structure versus an aluminum, is so you don't get those fatigue points. We do have aluminum as the outside panel. So that helps with the weight, keeping the weight low. If you get deep scratches through the paint, you're not gonna get rust.
And then inside we have the carpet on those aluminum panels, and that's on the roof, that's on the bed, that's on each sidewall.
Yep.
EXO comes with the brown carpet, and the EDC comes with the gray carpet.
Exactly. If you've ever been in a camper that doesn't have carpet, it feels very like cold. The carpet kind of gives a warm feel.
Helps
and
with moisture too.
Yeah, you get a little bit of moisture buildup from breathing, which, you know, if you don't have carpet on the top, what would end up happening is that moisture collects on top and then streams down to your toe box, and then you get wet toes. Other products that are in the camper is our bed and roof system, which is a composite, like a honeycomb composite panel with aluminum fused to both sides. It makes it super strong and super light.
When he says super strong, we have up to over 700 pounds that you can put on the bed and on the roof.
Yes.
So it's a ton of weight.
So yeah, you can put weight. So if you do put solar panels on top, you can get up there, clean off your solar panels. If you have a rack system, you can get up there and put stuff on the rack. It does hold that, but we do have a dynamic load. Once you're traveling, we don't recommend putting 700 pounds on it. The struts, the guys are working in the shop.
Yeah, now's probably a good time to mention, these campers are entirely built here in this shop in Utah. Even our tents are sewn by a stay-at-home mom, and everything else. You know, we have the frame made just up the street, and then the guys are putting the rest together back here. So
yeah, everything here in Utah.
If you're hearing the noises, that's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that, but we'll keep going. So yeah, they hold a ton of weight, and that with this panel allows us to give you guys the largest bed in the wedge platform. So you have a massive bed.
Joe, speaking of wedge, I feel like we get asked a lot why we don't do the straight.
Oh, the straight pop.
Yeah. And how tall are you, Joe?
I am 6'1".
Okay, can you run in there and just stand in the back of this really
let's show them.
I want to push this corner up here, this little portion.
Yep.
And then we'll get the full view. So
yeah, hop in here with me, Jake. Let's get cozy.
And how far back can you walk?
So I can go, so this is a 5-foot bed. So this is the smallest bed, and I'm right here, and my head's just barely kind of hitting the edge inside here. So
yeah, you don't really lose anything. A lot of people are concerned that you lose standing room not having that vertical space.
I still have all this like workspace if it was a straight pop, but what I think they're thinking is they're going to get more room up on the bed. So let's pull the bed down and I'll show you what happens.
You also get more strength from a wedge style as well, having that front end attached.
Yeah, you're going to have more strength. So I'm going to crawl up here and explain what happens. So if you've got a straight pop camper, it can only, the physics only let it go so high. And so what you end up happening is your roof, it doesn't pop as high as the wedge. And so now the top comes here. So it's going to be closer to your head. And then,
so you have less space to sit up in bed.
Exactly. So
move around when you're on the platform itself.
Yep. So if you had a cushion on here with some blankets, you know, it's about 36 inches roughly that some of those straight pops go. And so you're going to be hunched down. You'll have a big toe box, but you're not hanging out in the toe box. You want to be hanging out in this area, sitting up, reading a book, you know, having a conversation with somebody. So that's why we don't do that. Is
also weight buildup, you know, if you are in the snow and things like that, you know, snow and rain can funnel off the top instead of building up on the top.
So that's why we stuck with the wedge. Those straight pops, they look cool, but you get more in the toe box, but you don't get where you really need it. You're not getting that space. So this allows you to have a ton of space. Hot air can flow in and out without being, you know, right in your face when you're down here. So that's why we stuck with the wedge.
I'm gonna jump out. It's a little dark in there. The wide angle does not like to pick up light here. Joe, one more thing let's touch on is with the standard top. Let's show how thick it is. On the EXO, you have a thinner top, which is better for people to get in and out of low spaces, garages, things like that. But you don't have as much room for bedding. So you only have 2 inches, right?
Yep. So yeah, you're gonna have roughly 2 inches for bedding, which isn't much. If you did a straight air mattress, you could keep a straight air mattress in there and maybe one blanket with that mattress. So the EDC lid can go on the EXO, but the EXO doesn't go on the EDC. So if you want the bedding, you can throw the EDC top on there. It's just a little bit more, but now you can keep a lot more bedding in there. It also has the rails if you want to throw kayaks up there, that has the option for that.
Okay, we're over at an EDC that's being built right now for full size. You can see the angle of the top. We use the same top, bed, and tent to get that extra width on the bottom. That's where that's changed. But let's measure that top, Joe.
So here's the top. So you've got 6 inches plus this this upper, so you're about 8.5 inches right here versus that one that is 3.5 inches. So we took 5 inches off that total height for the EXO to just give you that slimmer look. Some people just don't get out as much and they just want a slim, quick system. So that really favors to them. But while we're here, Jake, let me show you some of the cool trinkets on this one. This has got a lot of cool features on it. We don't have the tank on here yet, but this is our propane mount. Propane bottom sits in here, wraps around, handle goes in here with a safety pin that goes through here. So you can make it so it's anti-theft by putting a lock through there. This is a cool little box here. This is the cover to our Propex heater. Exhaust runs out, intake through here. It's very sealed off for all the elements. And
we have another video actually on the Propex heater that I will drop a link in here so you guys can check that out if you're interested as well.
So yeah, quick connect for the heater. So that's what we got going on here
in this one too. So there's the panels on the roof. So he's got just one. We can do 2. He's got the fan as well. So this is a pretty built out electrical kit, exterior lights, windows.
Yeah, and in all this, Jake, they can put on the EXO. So if they want windows, heaters, you know, we're not just showing this for fun. We're showing you because it can go on the EXO as well. Almost every option for the EDC is also available on the EXO. And again, it's going to be a little dark in here. This is our electrical kit.
I think it's running, right? Let's
it's running. We got numbers on here.
There we go. We got outside lights, inside lights.
So it's got a whole monitor system. It has its protective plastic, so I don't know if you can see what's going on, but this tells you what's going on with your battery, how much juice you have in here, how long you can run all your stuff for. All our electrical systems come with this DC to DC, so you can get a 25 amp or a 40 amp depending on how big of a package you want. But what this does is we have our solar that goes into it, and the solar, and it plugs into the vehicle, so you can get power from the vehicle or the solar, and you don't even have to push any buttons. It automatically does it for you, so it's very user friendly if you're not a gadget guy. Propex heater, so this is the heater pushing out some heat. This is the dirt circuit battery.
Actually, something to mention on this battery is I get asked a lot. We do put this on the back wall, but if you end up with the rear visibility package, we can put it on this wall, or we can put it on that wall. This battery is designed to be super thin, so we can fit it in our walls and put that on whatever side works best for your build out. If you don't have doors or side windows, or however you need it built out, we can figure that for you.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at that door that you mentioned it.
Oh yeah, they just put that on.
Our little side access here has 2 buttons and just opens it up. And you know, we have a lot of clients that build out their own cabinet system in here,
especially for the longer beds. You know, this guy's on a 6.5 foot, so for him, he can access stuff back here, or he can walk up and access stuff a little easier that way.
So yeah, so kind of another cool feature. But you know, Jake, let's go take down the EXO and show people how that works out.
Okay, so we put the hatchback on because we know a lot of people might not even be using that feature. This is a realistic, how quick is it to break this thing down? Joe's going to go ahead and show you. So this is reattached, and the only thing we have to do is the outside here, and then close it up.
Yep. So Jake, when you're closing this off, there's so much air that's going to be trapped inside of the camper. And so what I recommend doing is keeping this unzipped. You'll take your poles, you can put them just inside here. Yeah, so keep this unzipped, and then just reach up.
Normally
we'll have a strap
for that, but for show purposes, we don't have it on this one.
And you'll just pull it down, get the air out, and then just reach in here and pull that. And there's a sweet spot where the middle of that triangle is. You just pull on that, go to the other side, do that same thing. Make sure this is tucked in. Then put the latches on. Hop down. You know, if you got a ladder, fold it up, throw it in. And now you're pretty much ready to go, except for your ladder on the side. So make sure you remove this if you have it on. But other than that, you're ready to go.
Let us know if we missed anything, questions and comments. We plan on doing more videos, but just to get the basic information out. We know this camper is new. We know everyone has a lot of questions, so fire away in the comments and we will do our best to answer. Go to our website and we will have options like this and everything you saw back there, and you can do a price quote or give us a call.